Men who have experienced being cheated on by their own wife? Tell your stories. What did you do with your wife, and how did it all happen? I'm especially interested in hearing from men who continued living with their wife afterward. How did you forgive her internally? First story, ha ha ha. I'm sorry, of course, and maybe this is very petty, but I am waiting, truly waiting, for retribution. Because the person I lived with hurt me very deeply. With his reckless action, he essentially ruined 2 lives, but at the time he didn't think about himself, because now he continues fooling around with that pathetic bitch who happened to come along. She didn't go anywhere in the end. Scum. Everything will fall into place. I believe that, and I don't feel sorry. This isn't exactly cheating. In the news, they said that a guy jumped from a building after he found out that his girlfriend loved someone else. The rescuers couldn't save him or persuade him for a long time. His mother came when he was about to jump. It went on for 5 hours. 5. They couldn't even prepare for his fall during that time. A rescue trampoline or a safety mattress? Nothing. No, all they managed to do was film it with a drone. I became curious about how the girl who left him is living now. By the way, I've seen that building. Hi, I'm 18, and yesterday I was talking to my mom, and she told me that the husbands of some of our female relatives cheat on them on a regular basis. We have quite a large family, since both of my parents come from big families, 5 or more children. Yesterday my mom and I got into a conversation, and she told me that my aunt, let's call her A, calls her every day and cries about the fact that her husband is cheating on her. I was in complete shock and could never have expected this. I loved my uncle so much and was very emotionally attached to him, and then I heard this news. He has 2 daughters and they have their own families and children, and the whole family has apparently turned away from my uncle. Similar situations exist with my other aunts. Let's call them B and C, but I had no idea about this for many years. Aunt A doesn't know what to do because her husband left for another country with his mistress. She doesn't know whether to forgive him or not. I tell my mom that forgiving him is 1,000% not worth it, but my mom says that it would be a disgrace for her, that she can't satisfy her husband, that she is well over 50 and will definitely never find another husband and will be left with nothing. I absolutely do not understand my mom's point of view, and I do not want to accept it. Aunt B is my mom's sister whom she is closest to. Her husband works in another country and comes home once every few months. She has 2 children around my age, and I am very close to them. Her husband cheated on her many years ago, she found out, but she forgave him. There are also suspicions that he is still cheating on her. A similar situation exists with Aunt C. She is also my mom's sister. Her children are more than 8 years older than me, but we get along well. This aunt always seemed to me like the strongest and most independent woman in our family. She always worked, took care of herself, and she always gave off the vibe of a very strong and authoritative woman. Because of that, I admired her greatly. But it turned out that she constantly forgives her husband for numerous affairs, and that shocked me deeply. I am in complete shock. I don't know how to react, and these thoughts about infidelity are eating me from the inside. I could never forgive cheating, and I thought that the people who raised me felt the same way. But after hearing all this, something inside me broke. Probably my faith in love, my trust in people, my dreams of a good marriage. Inside me there is only emptiness and distrust toward men. Now I don't know how I will look my uncles in the eyes when I see them, how I will greet them or talk to them. I'm not entirely sure why I'm writing this here. I probably want to hear advice on how to cope with this or explanations for their actions, but I'll be glad to read any comments on this topic. I cheated on my boyfriend, whom I'm still in a relationship with. Yesterday I finally decided to tell him. It's been a little less than a month since it happened. I cheated because my feelings were gone and I stopped caring about him. Why didn't I leave? He wouldn't let me go. I was being blackmailed with threats of suicide, which he is actually doing now. I want to make him understand that cheating should not be forgiven, but he refuses to accept that. All he cares about is that I stay with him. As soon as I block him, he starts messaging my parents and friends so that I'll unblock him. Do I regret it? Yes. Not because I want to go back or realize my mistake, but because I betrayed myself and my principles. I always stood for loyalty and cut off communication with people who cheated. This is the first time I've ever cheated. By the way, it was with my ex, who was also always about loyalty, and whom I considered the most faithful person. But he cheated on his girlfriend with me. We don't talk anymore. I read a story about a man who killed himself because he had cheated on his wife. Their son was the first to find out. He struggled for a long time with whether to tell his mother or not, because she was grieving very deeply over her husband's death, and he didn't want her to suffer even more. But in the end, he told her. After that, the mother calmed down and even said that she would have forgiven him, because their relationship was not like that of lovers, but rather like that of best friends. They supported each other, raised their children together, but they didn't have the same attraction to each other as they did at the beginning of the relationship. Two-story, not exactly a wife, but we had a very long relationship. I went to the army, and I knew she was seeing other people while I was in the army, though she did it under the watch of my friends and her friends. When I came back from the army, I couldn't sleep for a long time. We lived together, and there was some kind of anxiety, not the usual one that comes at the end of the entire army life, but just feelings of betrayal, specifically to someone I had betrayed. I don't know why I got into her phone. I understand that it's somehow wrong to snoop, and I never did it before, but this time my hand just reached for it, and I saw the messages. I woke her up with a kick in the butt and just packed my things and left. Three-story, I cheated on my boyfriend a few months ago because he didn't give me attention and ignored my attempts to show affection. I cheated on him emotionally and physically, a kiss, because I wanted to feel loved and have actions that confirm love. The cheating lasted 2 weeks, but now I cry at night feeling guilty. A month ago, he started changing for the better, and I understand that everything hidden eventually comes to light. I tried to break up with him. I tried to make it so that he would leave me, but he doesn't want to let me go. He wants to propose to me and move in together, but I understand that I don't deserve him, and I also can't confess the cheating. I don't know what to do. I am the worst girl on earth, and I want him to meet someone worthy. I don't know what to do. I really don't know. I'm only having dark thoughts about harming myself,